This room needs no introduction. We're in the Oval Office, and we're here to speak with President Trump about all the changes and improvements he's made to the White House. If you look at before and after photos, which I'm sure we'll put on the screen, the Oval looked kind of drab before. President Trump gave it a little bit of a makeover here. And we'll talk to him about all the changes he's made, some of these paintings he's added, the artwork. And then we'll go out and you're going to see the Rose Garden patio as well.
All right, Besties, I think that was another epic discussion. People love the interviews. I could hear him talk for hours. Absolutely.
He crushed your questions, admit it.
We are giving people ground truth data to underwrite your own opinion. What do you guys think? That was fun. That was great.
This is the Oval Office for everybody, and I said I'd do this for David and the group. This is three outstanding people that really understand, I guess you could say, the world of Silicon Valley and beyond, way beyond. And we're very proud of what's happened. And David said to me, would you mind giving a little tour of the Oval Office? Because it is the most important office, I would say, anywhere in the world. People come, kings and queens, and the biggest business people in the world, most important people in the world, and they look at this and they say, wow, that's the Oval Office. They want time to digest it. And this is the new and improved Oval Office because I had little time, and we did a lot of things that were good. It had very few pictures. Now it has a lot of pictures, and they came from the vault. The vault's downstairs where they have thousands, actually, of pictures, beautiful paintings, some of them in the vault for over 100 years. And we searched out, and we got a lot. That's an original George Washington. Another George Washington is Abraham Lincoln, the original. And that's Ulysses S. Grant, his favorite general, and I would say a great general and a okay president, right? He gets higher marks as a general. But these are all originals. That's an original George Washington also. We modernized it a little bit with FDR. That's a very important painting, FDR.
Yeah, did you pick these yourself, Mr.
I picked
President?
them all, yeah. I picked them all. They were in the vaults for, in some cases, I mean, not in the case of FDR, but in the case of many of them, they were in the vaults for over 100 years. Thomas Jefferson, as you see. You look, we put a couple of non-presidents. Ben Franklin, I think, qualified, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was in your world a little bit. He was
Treasury Secretary,
that's
too,
right,
wasn't
but he was also pretty good inventor,
scientist, yeah.
right? He was a lot of things, so he certainly qualified. We have over here, we have Ronald Reagan. We took from actually the lobby of the building, put him up here.
David Sachs has that same portrait in his office.
It's a good portrait. He's a great guy. This is Monroe of the Monroe Doctrine in the middle. And you have Andrew Jackson on the right and Thomas Jefferson on the left. And all great paintings, all originals. Over here you have one of three. This is our big, I guess it's sort of the star. It's been in the vault for close to 100 years. This is...
it's incredible nobody wanted to put it up before.
Well, they wanted to, and the people, they weren't able to do it, actually, because, you know, the curators here have a lot of power. And they can tell you no without saying no. And some of I can tell you two of the presidents I know wanted it up and it never got up, but I think they liked me better. And part of it is it's very delicate, the paper.
Right.
And the paper with the light and everything else.
But you protect it with the curtains. when
What we
people
do
are in,
is
yeah.
if you pull that curtain, you'll see what happens. We just go ahead and pull it if you'd like. See, that covers it up.
Yeah.
So now it's protected from...
Yeah.
Because the paper is very delicate,
Right.
and that was the problem with getting it up. So we did that. We devised that, but the curators, yeah, you can open it up again, I guess. But the curators made it difficult for a couple of people to get it up. I don't think they were going to let it come up, so they like me better. They know I take good care of things. But this is a very famous bust of Lincoln. There's George Washington. It's an incredible place. Mm-hmm. Now, many of these things, I moved them here. You have Winston Churchill over here. You have Eisenhower. It's been an amazing place to work with. But what really is something very special is when you have people, the biggest in the world, they walk into this office and they just want to look.
Yeah.
And we added a lot of 24 karat gold, and it's very expensive. And I think very beautiful. You know, when you look at the fireplace, when you have a leader sitting on the one side and the other side, and you look at what's behind with the lights beaming, and that's all 24 karat gold, and that's why it just beams.
Was it not gold before this was?
No, it wasn't. They didn't have really any gold. They didn't have gold. And they do now. That was actually a flat piece of marble. There for a long time, but a flat piece of marble. And I just felt it was important for this office to take on a look that's appropriate. It was, the walls were painted, but it was still the Oval Office, by the way, but the walls were painted now. The walls are much more than painted. So people have loved it. The leaders of other countries have loved it when they come in. And it's, you know, more representative of what it should be. And we're doing fix-ups in the White House too, importantly. We have some floors that were very bad. We put in new slabs. I do this stuff. I like it because I like real estate and I like building. But we've, if you would do it, you could look up, but we put some marble floors over there that are incredible. What we can do today, the workmanship, did you notice the floor as you walk by?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful floor. That had little 1x1 tiles in it, and now it has big slabs of white marble. It's really beautiful. And as you know, we're going to be building a ballroom. For 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom at the White House. When a dignitary, a big dignitary, the head of China, the head of any country you name, would come over, they would build a tent in the lawn. And if it rained, it was a big problem. It was a big problem. But they just put a big tent on the lawn. Now we're going to have a world-class ballroom, beautiful ballroom, which is built right on the other side by the East Room. So I think we've done a real job, and most importantly, we have a great economy. We have a lot of people working, and we have an industry that you guys are very much leading. The job you have is very important, but you're leading it, and I think it's going to be maybe the most important industry of them all. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're very honored for the tech industry to be the first one that you've brought to do a Rose Garden dinner.
That's
I think
right.
This is the first one. And
That's right. We're doing a Rose Garden dinner. I think what we'll do is we might move it because it's a little rainy.
of course,
But, and actually, it's a little bit easier to talk inside also. So we're going to have a good group. But it's your Rose Garden. So the Rose Garden we, as you know, had grass. And you couldn't have anything. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't do press conferences. All of the things that you like to do, you couldn't do it. And we put beautiful stone, white stone down. And now we can have all sorts of things, including they can have dinners at the Rose Garden, et cetera, et cetera. So senators, congressmen, and women can come over.
Was there pushback? There was a little bit of pushback.
You know what? Very little, I tell you. I thought there'd be a lot. Very little. It's done and it's complete and people love it. You know, they love the look of it. It looks good. It looks actually, I think, better. The problem with the grass, you couldn't do anything with it. You'd have a press conference. I know Prime Minister Modi was here from India and recently, and he was trying to give a press conference. Everyone was, the women with their high heels were, it was not a pretty picture.
the
It was
chairs
wet.
are all uneven on the ground. It
Right,
wasn't functional at
it
all.
was a little bit
Did you
tough.
find
So
the crack, sir? Was it you that found the crack? And then-
yeah.
It was
Right.
incredible.
We had, but look, it was beautiful. But I think it's more beautiful now, and you can,
Yeah.
we can use it.
Yeah.
What was the motivation for the ballroom, Mr. President?
Well, they've just wanted a ballroom, and I know for a fact because I've been here now a long time, and when you have a big dinner, you can't really have a dinner here without putting up a tent, and a tent is not appropriate for what we do, even from a security standpoint. So. I said in the first term, I'd love to have a shot because I'm going to get them a beautiful ballroom. That's what we've done. But you really want it so that you have a lot of big events. You have a lot of events that aren't necessarily for the heads of state. They're just big events for AI or for something. And you want to have a lot more seats than they have. You just didn't have. We have beautiful rooms, but we don't have big rooms in the White House. So now we're going to have a big room. We're going to have a beautiful ballroom.
How long till it's done?
A couple of years.
Okay.
We'll take a couple of, starting in about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And,
Breaking ground 2 weeks.
It's going to
That's
be great. It's going to be beautiful, top of the line.
awesome. I heard you had the plans on your desk. Is that true? Is that?
I do.
Is that
I
anything we
just
could-
took them off because in tribute to you guys, I don't want to look a little messy, but I know I've had the plans, and it's right facing the Treasury building and facing the Washington Monument. You have a view of everything. You have a view of the White House, We have views on all four sides.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's going to be great.
What do you call the new Rose Garden? Is it still called the Rose
Well,
Garden?
they're calling it the Rose Garden Club.
The club, yeah.
But it's just a place where people can have dinner now, which you couldn't have done before. We have beautiful kitchens, and the White House will use them. But I think senators, congressmen, congresswomen, they're going to come over and they're going to enjoy it. And maybe we'll let Democrats come too, because, you know, it might bring people together. That'd be nice. If it brought people together, that would be nice. So, but it's great to have you at the White House. It's great to have you in the Oval Office. And have a good show. Keep your show
thank
going.
you, sir. And you know, I thought it'd be more interesting for our audience to see this side of you, because I've talked to some of the tour guys of the White House, and they're always saying that you walk around and you give notes to the landscapers, the gardeners to fix things, and you pick out all the paintings yourself. And I don't know if people know how conscientious you are about the White House, how much you care about the White House, how much you care about the history, and you want to make it as beautiful as possible. And you've made it even more incredible than it already was, like no other president.
There's an incredible video clip, sir. It's like the day after you were reelected, maybe like a few days after, and you were in Mar-a-Lago and you were walking with the groundsperson with a notepad, and you were pointing to all of these little things, and it was like the most incredible thing, because it's like this attention to detail is wonderful.
Well, we've done a lot. The White House it needed some love. You think it got it with Biden? I don't think so. Do you think he does this? Do you think he says that marble's not looking good, we have to replace that marble? No, he doesn't do that. But we have a great administration going. And you're a big part of it. But we have a great administration. We have a country that's doing really well. And leading in AI is an honor. And then we're going to keep leading, too. We're going to be doing something that I'm proud of. I said, you know, you need massive amounts of electricity, as you people know better than anybody. And I'm allowing the people that are building to build their own electric plants, which nobody thought would happen. And I sort of think that was my idea. You can't go into the old grid. So they can build the most magnificent electric producing plants, almost becoming a utility. And if they build more than they need, they can sell it back into the grid, put it back into the grid, which is good. So you're going to see some tremendous plants going up. They've already started, as you know. But they're building with that. They're building electric producing facilities, so it's going to be great. I think that made a big difference, don't you think? If we didn't do that, they couldn't hook it to an old grid.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if anybody's told you, but we had dinner with Senator Crapo yesterday.
Yes.
He said this incredible thing. When the CBO originally priced the big beautiful bill, they thought it was minus $3 trillion. They just updated it because they have to, and it's actually a surplus.
Oh, yeah.
It's like $300 billion. It's an incredible thing.
Well, we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars worth of tariffs.
Yeah.
The money is coming in at levels that nobody ever thought possible. You know, they gave us no credit for that because it was never done before. And now the numbers are much higher than anybody ever thought.
$600 billion from Japan, 90% to America of the profits.
$950 billion from the European Union, $350 billion from South Korea. No, the numbers are incredible, and frankly, I could have done more. If I wanted to take it nice and easy. I didn't want to.
You did a great deal with Intel recently, so you're putting the balance sheet to work, which I think is really
the balance sheet's going to be great. The country we're really doing well. We have to maintain it. We have to be smart. AI is a big factor, but we have all the car companies coming back in with their plants. You know, we lost almost 60% of our car producing if you go back 40 years. We made all the cars, and now we don't make close to all, and we may be at a higher level than we were 40 years ago by the time. The car companies, just like AI, the car companies are coming back, factories are coming back because they don't want to pay tariffs.
Yeah.
You know, they like me, but they don't want to pay tariffs. Yeah. And so we put together an amazing thing. They're leaving from all other countries. They're coming here. They're building massive plants, the likes of which we've never seen, the auto plants. And the auto union, they love Trump. They got it right at the beginning, and they voted for me, but their vote is now well justified. But the auto companies are building unbelievable numbers of plants, and big ones.
And one thing I want to add on AI, sir, is that this investment that you're basically triggering is going to benefit all Americans, not just Silicon Valley companies. When we were in Pennsylvania and you announced $92 billion of investment, they had people from the trades there, construction, electricians, carpenters. the fracking industry, coal, nuclear, everybody. So this is going to be a broad-based boom with AI. It's not just going to benefit a handful of tech companies, and that's thanks to your leadership, stimulating all that investment. You got TSMC to invest hundreds of billions in the U.S. That's really important. We're going to bring chip manufacturing back to the U.S. thanks to that.
It should have never left. If you had a president that knew business or understood what they would, you just never really did.
Yeah.
You never, no matter who, we all like certain presidents, but they never understood. You wouldn't have Taiwan right now. They would have said, no, you want to build in Taiwan, you're going to have to pay a 200% tariff, and nobody would have left. And you would have had Intel and the ones that were doing so well originally, they would have, they would have been supreme right now. They would have been at a level like you've never seen. And that's what's happening. I mean, they're all coming back. You see that?
Yeah.
They're coming back from all over the world for chips and for cars and for everything, every aspect.
And if you get rates down, which I think it'll start, too late is he'll afford
Too late is not too good. Too late doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But,
we talked about that
good old
last
too late.
week.
Oh, he's so bad. It's so pathetic. But anyway, he's too late. He was always too late.
He was always too late.
But rates are coming down anyway. I mean, this is bigger than him, as crazy as it sounds. It's bigger than him and bigger than a stupid person running the Fed.
Yeah.
It's so big that, in fact, you see actually interest rates are starting to go down of their own volition. But if we would have had a little help from the Fed, the one thing that is slowed down because of him is housing.
Yeah.
And that'll catch up very quickly because it's the least of it. But this is just much bigger than really the Fed in the sense of having somebody that's incompetent running it.
Well, you mentioned, I remember this, I think it was like 2 months ago we had dinner and you said you're very sensitive to the exchange rate. And it turns out that what you said actually happened, which is the exchange rate has completely stabilized. Despite all these other fluctuations, the dollar has held up. The
dollar's held up, and honestly, everything's held up.
It's really working.
No inflation. They said, tariffs will cause inflation. They've been wrong about everything. And
absolutely.
Well,
these guys, and for the most part, they've said, Trump was right because we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars at levels that nobody's ever seen taken in.
Yeah.
And so we've taken in all this money and there's been no inflation.
It's just been hard, I think, for them to admit it because it's not that you were right, you were very right.
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean?
Like even right after Liberation Day, remember they tried to create this panic in the market. The market went down because they created so much fear. You called them panicants, and you were right. It all bounced back.
No, there's a tweet. You called the absolute bottom. You posted on Truth Social, this is a great day. It was literally the bottom. And it's gone straight. It's up 35%.
Right. I said start invest. This is a great day to invest.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I hope a lot of people followed it. A lot of people did, I guess, because you see what's happening in the market. No, it's been a great thing to watch. They had 71 economists, and they put me in that group. And myself and one other person were right. Everyone else was wrong. But it's even more than anyone ever thought.
But when you posted that, were you thinking something or were you seeing something?
No, I just felt it was low. Yeah. I just felt it was low. I mean, it's more instinct, I think, than maybe anything else. Certain amount of brain power, but instinct maybe is more important in some cases. But I've had an instinct, and my instinct has been for a long time, this is what the country has to do. This is what happened to us. Other countries were doing this to us. But we are in a position where we can do it better, much better. Nobody is able to do what I'm doing now with this. So the tariffs are a big part. I think the spirit's a big part. We have great spirit. You look at what we did in Iran. You look at that beautiful B-2, right?
Unbelievable.
That beautiful plane. I have it around here
right
someplace. There. Look at this thing, what that did. How that flew in there, dropped those bombs. Everyone hit perfectly, and then they said, skedaddle, get out of here. And they got out. No, it's great. We just ordered a lot of the brand new model of that. Just ordered quite a few of them.
How do you feel about the government waste, fraud, abuse, the spending, and the outlook for fixing the spending problem?
Well, we're going to do that. I mean, that's going to be next. But, we're fixing another problem where the numbers are going very high. The numbers, you're going to see some numbers that are going to be astronomical. When these plants start opening, we have a lot of construction jobs building. But when these plants that you guys are so in love with, they start opening, nobody's ever seen plants like this. Nobody's ever seen. When you hear about a $50 billion plant, 50 billion. 50 million is a big plant by the old standard. Right now you're talking about 50 billion. when they open and they're all chock full of jobs and everything else, you're going to see things that are really amazing.
And the tax cuts haven't even gone to effect yet.
Yeah,
A number
the
of
tax
them.
cuts
Some of
and
the for the tech industry, the R&D treatment where you can depreciate R&D now in the same
right.
year instead of spreading it out over
bonus
30 years.
depreciation now?
Yeah.
including structures, and that's a big one.
It's going to have a huge
But no
impact.
tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. So the workers want to work overtime, they don't get the tax that they would normally have to get, and that sort of stops it from happening. No, we have a tremendous thing going, and it's an honor to have you with us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Honored to be here, as always.
That was great.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
President.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.